Good evening. It is that time again for the Hadassah's Crown Publishing Interview Author Series. Tonight we have two additional authors, and they're going to join us in just a little while. Right now, I'm going to just share a few things with you that we are just happy and blessed, continuing to grow and to expand, and we appreciate your support. Thank you for joining these interviews tonight. If you're not watching them tonight, thank you for watching them in the future. We appreciate your time, and we also appreciate your support of these authors. A lot goes into the publication of a book, and we are so very blessed to be able to help authors take their manuscript from start to finish, deliver them books, and to also upload their books on media platforms such as Amazon and Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, wherever books are sold, and in libraries as well. So if you're interested, please reach out to us. We are going to accept manuscripts again prior to the holidays. So if you are working on something, continue. If you've written something, continue to perfect it. And we just look forward to hearing from you. Our website is hadassahscrownpublishing.com. You can reach us at hadassahscrown@gmail.com. That's our email address. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We're on Twitter as Sonia C. Leverett. We are on Pinterest, and we are on LinkedIn as well. So I want to thank you again for the support that you have shown for the last book that I wrote, Marching Around the Schumer. It became number 3 on the hot new sales with Amazon.com, and so we were just very pleased and blessed for that. And we do want to get reviews for that, so please drop us a review on Amazon. That is one of the best gifts you can give to authors, so not just for me but other authors as well. Again, we will be announcing some partnerships, some expansions in the future, so follow us. Sign up for our blog, sign up for our newsletter on hadassahscrownpublishing.com. Invite your friends over and follow this interview series. For the most part, it starts on Thursday nights at 7. We sometimes have 2 authors back to back, 7 and 8. We have that tonight. Next week, we have an author on Tuesday night at 7, and then we have 2 authors next Thursday night. So it has been an action-packed, fun-filled month. We'll also do interviews over into the month of August. So thank you. We are very blessed to have our guest here with us. Hang on just a moment while I bring her on camera. There
Hello.
she is.
Ah,
Hello.
hi, how are you?
I'm great. What about you?
I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful. Just can't complain. Just still excited.
Oh,
Still
that's
excited.
awesome. Yes. Well, this is your launch month, so I know that you are excited.
I am.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is none other than Stephanie Vandervall-Walker. She is a delightful lady, and I have truly enjoyed working with her. Her very sweet presence, her sweet spirit, and when you read her story, you're going to say, wow, because it is truly the reason that we go through trials so that we can help others. And she's doing that through her book, through her everyday work. She has changed careers so that she can support this work. She and her daughter are doing more work together on this cause and this effort. And she has research. She has lots of information so that, perhaps she would have handled some things differently. She wants to help others so that maybe, their experience could be different. So I
Absolutely.
want her to talk because there's so much I can learn from her, and I truly appreciate her. So just tell us about yourself, what I have left out that you want to share, how your book came to be with your
Ah,
very busy life and career. When did you find time to write? And then how has
oh,
this author journey been for you? So there's so much you can share with us, and I just want to turn it over to you.
Okay, well, like you said, my name is Stephanie Vandervall-Walker. I am an addiction specialist. I've been in the addiction field for over 20 years, and my passion has always been to write a book. Okay, I've always been in the helping profession. I love working with those who are substance abuse users as well as their family members. But writing a book was always something that was in the back of my mind that I put to the side because, work takes up half your life.
Yes.
And, sometimes you have to just put things to the side. But it's been a long time coming. And it's just so great to know that this is finally come to fruition thanks to the help of you. I'm so grateful for all the work that you've done. But I've worked with substance abuse clients and agencies for years prior to recently. I just started working doing contractual work to give me a little free time to be able to help build my company. So it's been a blessing in disguise. Things are just coming together the way that God said it would come together, in His time, not our time. And
Yes.
sometimes we look at things and we say, well, when am I going to get this done? When am I going to get this done? But it's always in the appointed time, always
That's,
at the right time. And that's when things start happening. So I'm
yes.
excited. I'm stepping into a new journey in my life, a new phase. And like people say, well, is there an age when you decide to make a career change? No, there is no age. There's no age limit. You just do it when the time presents itself. And
That's
I'm just
right.
excited. I'm enjoying the journey. I really am. Um, you asked me when did I find time to write?
Hmm.
Well, I've been writing. I would say I've been writing off and on for years. I would just jot down little things in my journal, whether it was a speaking engagement where I did some preaching or doing some workshops, whatever. I would just write little notes and things down. So I had a whole stack of notes and stories that I just put to the side and never thought, I knew that one day I would do something with it, but I just held on to it. So maybe I use it for a sermon, maybe I use it for a workshop. And then, it was my former pastor that really inspired me at one point. He said, there's a book in you. And I'm like, okay, is there a book in me? Is there a book in me? Maybe I should write a book. So I just, I gave it some thought and I put it off again because, again, life happens. And,
That's right.
as women, we always have to look out for family first and, do things in order. So I just said, one day I will write this book. One day I will write this book. So I was inspired to write this book by my first husband, my husband, Robert Vandervall Jr., who we were married for 20 years and he struggled with addictions. And I just always say, you know what, this thing is bigger than we think. We always hear people say there's a war on drugs and this is going to stop and treatment's going to change things around. But the struggle is real. The struggle is real, real. And there's no respect of person. So I wanted to do this to let people know that, hey, you're not alone, that it's okay. You don't have to hide behind the problem. You don't have to feel ashamed, but hey, there's help available to, make things better in your life as best it can be. So
Exactly.
that's what I decided to do. And I took my energy and went back to school, got my degree in substance abuse counseling. And I just love it. I love coming in contact with people who are struggling, being able to offer them some support and guidance. It's just, I mean, it's wonderful to see people recover, and to see how they can turn their lives around. But some people just don't, and it's okay, it's okay. It's just,
Mhm.
there is no one size fit all, and
That's,
people need to know that, hey, the struggle is really real.
that's right.
I did.
That's Well, I believe you are so cut out and your steps were ordered for the work that you're doing now because you lived it. You've been through it. So when people come to you, they're not just talking to somebody who read about it, who got
Absolutely.
free in it. They are talking to somebody who lived with it for years. I mean, many years.
Mm-hmm.
And the title is, when you look at the cover, or just even if you don't see that image that truly captures your attention, the grip around my heart,
Mm-hmm.
that couldn't be any more telltale of your story, because I mean, this was one of the most beautiful love stories that I've
Oh,
ever
yeah.
written. I
Oh.
mean, ever read. And that both of your pictures are there on your wedding day, separate but then together.
Mhm.
You can truly see and feel the love. So you did an amazing job
Thank
of
you.
telling that story, but I doubt that you had to add or really work because it was just genuinely there. And
Absolutely.
I know it was a huge dream that it was going to, everything was going to work out. In our minds, we have a way that we want things to work out, but
Hmm.
that's not always the story.
That's
God
true.
has the last say, but then too, we can't ever control the actions or whatever's going on with another individual. And that's what makes it so very painful. But
Hmm.
again, I feel like I'm walking in my destiny because I wondered so long. I always was very passionate about what I did as my day job. I never wanted a job that I say, oh, I'm bringing home tons of money, but I'm not fulfilled at the end of the day. So I'm
Absolutely.
service oriented. I want to help people. I truly loved education for 30 years and I still do. But now, because I love books and literacy and I love helping people, the publishing and all of that, I feel like I'm walking in my destiny. So I can relate to you
You
when
definitely
it's
are.
the time to change careers. Well, I feel like I was in school all my life. So now I've grown up and I have a job that,
Right.
that wasn't school. So anyway, your book tells the story and it tells it in segments, but you teach so much on the way.
Hmm.
And we can't not talk about the ministry in the book because you truly break that down. So many different parts of, finding another home as far as a church and just the couples in the church. There was just so much that can enthrall
Hmm.
readers. But what I want to talk about is this codependency because that is a major theme and that is even your subtitle.
Hmm.
So when there is someone very close to us who has a substance, you don't necessarily like to call it a substance. How do you coin that? You
Disorder. Let's call it a disorder.
disorder. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
So if there's a substance disorder, it can do things to the family member or the people around. And so I think that's where your education now in counseling is really tailored to help those people that are also learning to cope with this.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
can you share some more about words just to empower anyone, because every one of us knows someone who is going through something or who has struggled. And addictions come in many forms. I mean, I know
Hmm.
people who are shopaholics
Oh, yeah.
or who, yeah, just have to have certain things or just hoard. There are so many different addictions. We can't even name them all. But I just want you to speak to that.
Okay. Well, when you have love and compassion for people and you want to help people, it kind of makes everybody codependent to a degree because you want to make the people that you love feel like they are the best that they can be and that you are going to do something to help them get to that point in their lives. So as codependents, it's not like we pick and choose who we're going to be codependent towards. We just have a heart and desire to help the people that we love. The
Mhm.
thing about addiction is that, it's not something that people choose to always do. They may start out with a substance problem out of experimenting or fun or just, socializing. But the end result, when it begins to become a issue and problem, when it becomes to become a disease or a disorder, they have no control over what's going to happen next. And sometimes we think that we can help them get past that. And we do everything in our power to say, hey, I don't do this. Or why are you doing this? And it's easy to stop because I've seen so and so do it and they stop. And that's not always the case. It
Mhm.
becomes a part of your genetic makeup. It becomes part of, a brain disease where even though you want to quit, you can't quit. So I often tell family members that, hey, you didn't start this problem. You can't fix it. You can't control it. All you can do is love a person through it. That's all you can do. Be as supportive as you can possibly be.
Mhm.
Get educated, understand what's happening to the person and not take it so personal. Because a lot of times we take it personal. Oh, it's something I've done or something I did not do to cause this to happen. And that's not the
Mhm.
case. It is
Mhm.
something that happened. You had absolutely nothing to do with it. So the thing is to sometimes take the focus off the person and look at yourself. Okay, how can I help somebody if this particular problem that they have is tearing me down? If I'm losing sleep, I'm not eating, I can't function because my focus is on someone else's problem. And it starts consuming your life.
Hmm.
So you have to take a look at yourself and say, hey, I can't do anything about this. All I can do is wait for you to get through it. Sometimes people say, well, you just got to get over it. You're not going to get over it. You have to go through it. You have to just go through it one day at a time. And
Wow.
then, people say, well, I understand, I understand. No, I overstand. I overstand the situation. I mean, I have seen so much and, watch people go through some devastating situations in which they tried to stop and could not stop. That is almost just unbelievable. So you have to just take a step back and say, hey, this is real. What can I do to help myself so that I don't become so consumed with this situation? And my passion has always been, okay, we look at the substance abuse user, we look at the person with the addiction problem, and there's help available. I mean, there are thousands and thousands of treatment centers out here. And treatment does work. It does work for some people, it doesn't work for everybody, but they are available. But what's available for the family member that's right there side by side with the person, and they're pretending like they're okay, but they're not okay, but they get up every day, go to work, put on a smiling face, and just keep it moving? Who's helping them to get well? So I've always had this dream that, okay, well, maybe what if we could come up with a family retreat center? We can develop a family retreat center where family members can go somewhere and just get healed, to rejuvenate, to relax, to be pampered, so they can deal with the situation better beyond it. And not just for spouses and family members. We talk about mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers. There's no age limit. It's just a real situation, and it deserves some real help.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. Wow. You have said a mouthful. And my next question was going to be, how can family members, friends, loved ones set appropriate boundaries? But I believe you have answered that, as far as just making sure you don't become overly consumed,
mhm,
and take care of yourself, you know, and seek, you know, the therapy, as you've said. If you can't get to a family help center, perhaps you can have those massages. You can maybe have counseling where you can sit down and talk about it, just whatever
absolutely.
it takes to make sure you maintain your joy, because you can't just stop life and just grieve and moan and just wait for things to
Right,
change, improve, or get better.
that's
Because it can happen, but it may not.
right. Absolutely
Hmm.
true.
Hmm.
That's true. We have
Wow.
some feedback here for some reason.
Yes, it froze for a minute there. So I don't know if it's on my end. Are you able to hear me fine?
Uh, I can hear you, but there's some feedback.
Okay, okay. I hate that happens. It seems like every week we've had a little trouble keeping a clear connection. I don't know what the issue is.
Mhm.
Um, but we're going to try to press on. I
That's
just
okay.
have a few more questions. I want to make sure you get to share anything that you would like to, and share how individuals can purchase the book directly from you. Are you having a signing, a celebration? What's next? Where is this book going?
Okay. Well, they can visit my website. It's at www.stephanie-walker.com. And if they purchase a book through my website, they can get a signed copy. Or they go to Amazon, of course, and Amazon has the book available as well. I am trying to decide on a date in which I want to launch my big sale. I do expect to do a book signing in Baltimore, since that's my hometown. And we have that set up in September. So I'm looking forward to going back home and sharing this with my family and friends there. But hopefully I'll get to come up with something sooner. Being that I'm new here in Florida, don't know too many people, but I would like to get this book into the hands of different agencies, different support groups. So that would be an awesome task that to have. It's just been so exciting, and it's like a matter of you think about it before it's done, all the
Mhm.
things you're going to do, and then when it's done, you're like, oh my goodness. I remember when the books first came in. I mean, first of all, um, it came sooner than I anticipated. So when the box arrived and I opened it up, I was just like, oh, I froze. I'm almost like opened the book up and I just froze and to say, oh my God, this is really here. They're actually physically here, So I just paused for a moment and I just got on my knees and I prayed and I said, Lord, please let these books land in the hands of those who really need this help. And it was just so amazing that you think about dreaming about something you want to accomplish, and then it seems so far-fetched, but then when it actually is physically available, I'm like, oh, this is so wonderful. So my advice would be to people who are trying to write a book or do some publishing work, reach out for help with people who know what they're actually doing. I mean, I was involved with University of Monroe, and I had a mentor who gave me all the tools that I needed in order to publish a book in 90 days. I met some wonderful people. We exchanged information. Sean Blanchard was a wonderful mentor. Everything was available. But if you're not computer savvy or you really don't know the ins and outs of the book world, you need to contact people who know how to do this. And I think that's what my holdup was in getting it done sooner, is that trying to do it myself and not really knowing all the tricks of the trade and the shortcuts. Because nowadays, writing a book is not as difficult as it used to be. And I think we still think that, oh, it's going to take so much of our time and energy, when actually it really doesn't, because all the resources are available. I would say find your resources, connect with people who have been doing this for a while, and just do it. Don't put it off. Just make it happen, because no matter how long it takes, as long as it gets done, it's worth it. It's just worth it in the long run.
You just truly said a mouthful. You really have, and I appreciate
Oh,
encouraging anyone out there who is thinking about it and just letting them know.
yes.
But sometimes you need help, and that's
You do.
okay. Don't go and do it by yourself. I encourage people, at least for that first experience, get some help.
Yes. Get
Let
some
somebody
help.
and teach you how to do it.
Yes.
Right. I mean, I can't even explain all that goes on behind the
I
scenes.
know. And Sonia, you are
It,
godsend. You were referred to me by one of my author friends, and he said that this young lady will get things moving for you quickly. And I was just so impressed. First of all, the name alone was just, inspiring. So I said,
oh,
okay, this must be what I need to do. So
thank
yes,
you.
thank you so
Well,
much. I appreciate
you
it.
said earlier, that you preach, and it's just so interesting how many preachers I have had the privilege and the pleasure of working with. And Hadassah's Crown is certainly there to assist people, especially we're under Christian umbrella, and your
Yeah.
book type of book that we truly love. And I'd like to say hello to some of the people that are watching. I know Reverend Minister Shirley Johnson is here with us, and Minister Carla Williams Perrin. They just finished their books. They're releasing them very soon. They're also ministers, and so it's just
Okay.
wonderful to be here. Dr. Rosa Dingle is a colleague and educator who's here as well. There are
Awesome.
others that I haven't seen, but Minister Perrin has asked the question, are you able to help others outside of your local community? So do you maybe do
Absolutely.
assistance or anything like that for other people in other states?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm currently still doing contractual work. I do counseling sessions contractually. So I'm available. I love sharing information and my expertise in the area. I would love to come and do workshops and trainings for anyone who's, willing to have me there. I love to travel. So there is no limit. I will come. Just schedule and I'll be there. So
Awesome.
yes, I'm definitely available.
Thank you, Perrin, for that question. And I will make sure that her website is in the chat when we're finished, as well as if she wants me to share her email address, I can share that as well.
Absolutely, yes.
It is certainly there to help people. And I must say that with Baltimore being your home and now you're in Florida, Baltimore has a huge book fest. I believe it's in May. And then
Mm-hmm.
Emmy had one not too long ago. So you're kind of in the
Oh,
middle of two amazing books
okay.
that you can become a part of, which I think would be awesome. Another way to
Okay.
get your book out, increase your network and all of that. And I
Mm-hmm.
must say that I've worked with several authors from the University of Moguls, and so they are doing a phenomenal job. They really are.
Yes, they
So
are.
anyone else out there who's being mentored, but then, sometimes your work is just in your family. You don't want to compromise that time. You don't have a lot of time left over. So if you need someone else to help you take it, to the finish line, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Everyone that we've worked with has been wonderful. So we just appreciate that. And I greatly appreciate Nicholas Wetlow, because he sent a few people my way.
Yes.
I
Okay.
certainly
Yes. Wonderful.
for that. Yes. So are you going to be writing any more books, or because this isn't a one shot? I can tell.
I've thought about it. I'm currently taking care of my mom who has Alzheimer's. And I was like,
Okay.
the grip around my heart, the grip around my heart. So maybe a part two with a different twist, because that has been a struggle as well. And something that people also need assistance with. I've learned a lot just in being her caregiver and trying to work and become an author and all that. So I'm thought about doing something with Alzheimer's next. But I would also like to consider doing a children's book. Um,
Okay.
I was thinking of doing a children's book with substance abuse prevention,
Okay.
because we kids are getting younger and younger. They start experimenting even at the elementary school level. So it's something I've been contemplating. So I will definitely
Wow.
let you know. Get
Oh,
with that.
well, I started out pretty much telling my stories in my first two books that I published, or anthologies that I published in with multiple authors. And then
Ah,
I went to children's books. And to be honest, I love everything that I do, but I will say that children's books have a special place in my heart because I wasn't
uh-huh.
educated so long. They are super fun and cute to lay out. And so I truly enjoy those. So I would
Yeah,
love
I've
to.
been hearing it a lot.
Well,
Uh,
and another thing to think about too, children need help surviving and coping and getting through,
absolutely,
when they live in a home, because
absolutely.
it's very hard to
Mm-hmm,
understand, and it happens
mm-hmm,
a lot. And like we said, it may be alcohol, it may
mm-hmm,
be some other substance, but
mm-hmm.
it could be all, there are so many different types of
Absolutely.
addictions.
Mm-hmm.
What does that child do? And we don't want that stunning their growth or keep
Absolutely.
them
That's
reaching
right.
their or aptitude. So
That's
that's
it.
just another thought I'd like to plant, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
the way you can do it both, like the
Yeah.
education, the prevention, as well as, the support for a
Yeah,
child.
dealing with their emotions. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
being that I'm doing contract work, I do come across a lot of kids who have that problem within their home, and they have a hard time expressing how they cope with it and
Mhm,
how they're expressing their emotions regarding it. That's really what brought it to my attention. The fact that I see that they're struggling in the
mhm.
you know. They love their mom and dad, but there's something going on they really don't understand and can't do
Exactly.
anything about. Mhm.
Exactly. Exactly. Wow. This has been wonderful. I want you to share anything else with our audience that you haven't had an opportunity to share. Well, just what's your favorite part of the book?
Whew. Ah, ah. I think with the book, it's about love, marriage, and addiction. That sums it up all together. Love, marriage, and addiction. And the hardest thing was for me was trying to minimize everything. Because even when you finish the book, there's always something that you wanted to add. There's so much more that occurs over 15 years that it's kind of difficult to incorporate it into a few pages.
Mhm.
But I think for me, I think it was high school romance, letting people say, hey, this still does exist in the world.
Mhm.
Marriage is what it is. Marriages, fairy tale marriages do come true.
Mhm.
You can overcome strong obstacles in life. That when you love someone, there is no limit on to what you will do to sustain that relationship. So that type of thing sometimes gets lost when we look at a lot of reality shows. It's like, divorce, divorce. And you wonder, is everybody divorcing? Is there any true love? Is there true love? So that was important to me. I think that be able to show my grandkids, hey, love, being patient, waiting for that right person, it's worthwhile. It's worthwhile.
Wow. And like you do an excellent job of sharing that.
Thank
And
you.
so
Thank you.
it's a great read. So anyone who is watching, you know, it's a reality, a book about reality, but it's
Mhm.
also romance and the
Uh-huh.
beautiful love story that's within it. So I encourage you to go to her website. We will post it in the link and let you know and give you her email address so that you can contact her
Thank
if you're
you.
interested in
That's
training or, you know, counseling or anything of that nature. She's there to do it. You also have a nonprofit, or is it a nonprofit, or the organization that I think you and your daughter have together?
well, she used to. My daughter used to have a nonprofit that she was working on. She's not doing it anymore because she's now become a nurse practitioner. But it's
Oh,
something we may be thinking about bringing back into fruition because of the need, and it will also help us to launch the retreat center that I'm thinking of in the near future. So
awesome.
that
So
is Miraculous Foundations.
congratulations to her and to you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
we'll certainly keep you and your mom and your family
Yeah.
in
Thank
our
you. Thank you.
will. And just praying that book sales continue to go
Yeah,
well and that you're blessed, because your whole mission is to bless others, and
absolutely.
it always comes back to you. So
Oh, yeah.
this has been awesome. And if there's any other information that you want to give out, feel free to share it in the chat as well. And
Okay.
I appreciate the opportunity to work with you again. You've been
Thank
wonderful,
you.
a great work, and I look forward to the great things that are going to come. This again is Stephanie Vandervall-Walker, and she is the author of The Grip Around My Heart. If you haven't seen, just look at the cover. It says so much with just those images that are there. And we appreciate in advance your support of her. If you do purchase the book and read it, which we hope and pray you will, be sure to leave her a review on Amazon.
Please do. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. And I pray that you will have a wonderful night, wonderful weekend, and that things
Thank
again
you. Thank you,
go.
Sonia, so much. I appreciate your help. Love you so
Oh,
much.
thank you. Love you as well. Take care. Bye
Take care.
bye. Good night, everyone. Thank you for
Bye
watching.
bye.
Do come back at 8 o'clock. We have another one at 8 o'clock, and we
All
look forward to
right.
seeing you all again.
Bye
Bye bye.
bye.